Hi, this is Mark Gibson here from takingyourmusiconline.com, and in this case study I'll be looking over the website of a band called Smart Artists from Lismore in northern New South Wales. Thanks to Peter from the band who suggested that I have a look over the site. It's a really brave thing to do and I appreciate him doing it. Let's get started with a quick look over the site, which the lads have obviously put a lot of work into. I like the overall look of the site. It isn't too cluttered and it isn't covered in flashing things and revolving email images and all that sort of crap. They have a nice neat logo at the top and that links back to their homepage, which is great. The colours work well and the background isn't overwhelming. There's an easy to find menu at the top and they jump straight in with some nice customer testimonials right there on the front page, which is great. Next up, they have an audio/video page, which loads up a nice neat flash player. And notice how they've put this on a clearly marked audio page and not on the front page. That's a good thing. You want your front page to load as quickly as possible, and preloading an audio file that comes blasting out with no notice is poor form. Do it on a dedicated page like these guys have. If someone clicks on that page, then they obviously want to hear the audio. Below that, they have a link to buy a copy of their album. Now that's a great place to put that link, right where people are listening to your music. If they like it, they can grab it straight away because your link is right there. Next up we have the photos page, where the lads have obviously gone to a bit of trouble. There's no homemade photography here and it looks good. We then have a page with some more reviews and testimonials. These are really powerful tools, folks, so follow what these guys have done and collect reviews and testimonials. Then we have a page of promo gear like posters and flyers in PDF format. This is fantastic, well done here. They're easy to see, easy to download and just what you want. We then have a set list which clearly sets out what the band plays. The inclusion of the list of covers gives you a good guide to what the originals might sound like as well. The next page is a complete gig guide for the band. Again, nice and easy to find. You want to make it easy for people to come and see you. Last but not least, the guys have added a Contact Us link, which opens your default email program and allows you to send them an email. So overall, they've done quite a good job on the site, and most of the essential elements are there. You can find your way around easily enough, and you have access to lots of good information about the band. So what would I change if this was my site? Well, let me say at the outset that I wouldn't change huge amounts of this site at all. Most of what it needs are quite subtle changes. They're starting from a pretty good base. The first thing I'd do is resize and move the images that you have at the top of most of the pages. It looks fine on the front page, but they're taking up far too much space on the other pages. Your best information should always be what's known as above the fold, which simply means that people can see it without scrolling down. Now my browser in this image is set to 1024 by 768 pixels, which is still a very common setting, and as we go across the site, most of the pages have a large image and a logo as the only elements visible above the fold. You should really make sure that the information always starts above the fold. You could resize the image a bit smaller and put it into the middle of the page so the text starts above it. Once you have someone reading, you have a better chance that they will scroll down and continue. Over to the photos page, and about the only thing you would look at here is that I'd put thumbnails of the images that the reader can click on and then get a full-size view. It just makes the page a bit faster to load. Now, over on the reviews page, I'd make the font just a bit bigger. It might just be my tired old eyes, but I just found it a little bit small and a little bit hard to read. There's a lot of information on this page. Maybe just make it a fraction bigger. And now here's an important one. Over on the calendar or your gig guide page, you really need to have your latest or your upcoming gigs right at the top of the page, so they're the first thing you see without scrolling anywhere. I had to scroll down a long way to find out when you were playing next week, as we're in December at the moment. which was at the bottom of the page. People are lazy. Don't make them work to find out what they want. They may not go looking. The only other thing on the main menu that I would change is the Contact Us link. I'd remove the email link and have a page with a form to email you, plus a link to your RSS feed, a link to join your mailing list, your manager's name and phone number, and your postal address. Don't ever make it hard for people to book you or to contact you. Not everyone likes email, so give them a few options. A form instead of an email link also makes it a bit harder for the spam bots to get through too. The other thing here is you really need to be capturing people's email addresses into some sort of mailing list and not just waiting for them to contact you. Once you have their details, you can send out newsletters, gig guides, all that sort of thing to a very targeted audience. You need to have a mailing list and you need to use it. Okay, we're in the home straight now, and really the only other thing I'd change about this site is that it really needs to have some sort of analytics package installed on it, like Google Analytics. Before you go making changes to your site, you really need to be able to track what changes improve things and what doesn't work. Analytics software like Google will show you exactly what's going on with your site as you work on it. Now, it's also important to note that you shouldn't go making wholesale changes to a website when you have a decent starting point. You should just make a few small changes at a time, test the results, and continue from there. Find out what works and keep doing it. I hope you found this short case study valuable and that you'll use it to start incrementally improving your band's website. Now, once again, I'd like to thank Peter and the rest of the guys from Smart Artists for allowing me to pick over their website and present this case study. Get over there to smartartists.net, have a listen to their stuff, and maybe even buy an album off them. They really deserve your support. What they've done here is fantastic. Thank you very much. Don't forget, you can catch us again soon for some more real-world case studies at www.takingyourmusiconline.com. Thanks again for listening.